Hello and welcome to the Remedy Fibers podcast, a podcast about knitting and crochet hosted by me, Jillian. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returner, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today I have a finished object and I just wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy New Year. I know that most of you will probably be very festive, enjoying it with your friends and family, but if you are celebrating alone, don't worry, we have this episode to kind of just chat, knit, crochet together, and talk about what I just finished. So stay tuned. But if you're new here, I live in Northern California with my husband and dog Benny. I love everything yarn related and I hope you stay for my yarn journey. So let's get started. I have finally finished my Folklore Cardigan. Yeah! This sweater has been crazy. Thank you everyone in the community tab to encourage me to finish my sleeve. I have finished both sleeves. I was weaving in ends along the way, so I have no ends to weave in. I do have to block it, and I'll tell you all about what I love, what I don't really like, as well as what projects are in the future, because we are already at the end of 2022. I can't believe it. So if you've been watching this podcast, you will know that I made this cardigan for my friend who loves Taylor Swift, and she did not ask me to make her this cardigan, but she did mention it a few times, and I was encouraged and inspired to push myself against my comfort zone, grow in my skill set, and I wanted to make this for her just because it was so special and because it's cool too. Taylor Swift's cardigan, why not? I cast on December 7th and finished December 24th, so what is that, about 3 weeks to knit this cardigan. So this pattern can be found on linebrand.com. You can also find a link on Ravelry, and there's a whole bunch of project pages which I really found to be helpful when constructing this. But everything is seamed. The back is knit separately, the two fronts are knit separately, as well as the sleeve construction. Everything is seamed together, and I used the mattress stitch from Andrea Maury, which I found really helpful. It is a really warm sweater, so this yarn is Lion Brand Wool Ease, 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and me just wearing it right now, I am pretty warm in it. But I made the large / extra large size for my coworker, and the only thing that I would say are the sleeves are really long. They do go all the way over my hand, and this is pre-blocked, so hopefully she has long arms. If not, she gonna have to make it work and roll it up or something. But I will insert footage here as to how it looks. But what was most challenging for me was the cable constructions and the pattern repeats. And if you watched my other episodes, you would see that it was a puzzle, a pattern within a pattern within a pattern, and that's where I struggled a lot with. And in the beginning, I wanted it to be perfect, everything to the T, and after I got to the second sleeve, I was like, if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Like, I can't be perfect at this point because it was just so tedious. I would say I spent over 50 hours, maybe even more than that, working on this sweater every single day, my only monogamous knit for the last 3 weeks, and I am so happy and so relieved to move on to something else. So what I love about this cardigan is that it's done, that it's for my coworker who will love it. It's not for me, so that's something that I've been struggling. I've only made garments for myself, so the whole time I was trying it on and seeing how it fit on me, and I'm like, it's too big, it's not fitting me, the sleeves are really long, and I had to keep reminding myself it's not made for me, so I can't use myself as a determining factor of whether I like it or not. So we'll see what her opinion is. I'll ask her, of course, I'm sure she'll love it. But let me get a little more comfortable. I would say that I just have been really hard on myself with this cardigan. Okay, I'm having a hard time figuring out what I love about it. I'm happy that it's done. I really like the button band. I had to do the button band 3 times to finally get it right. I used the crochet hook to pick up the stitches, and I'm not quite sure if I did it right, because for the button band, I don't like when that seam shows, and so when I did the Felix cardigan, I picked up the button band and the seam was showing, and here I didn't want it to show, but now I worry that it will kind of flare out like that, but maybe with blocking it will tone down. But I really like how the button band came out. I liked how I did the button band holes, so I do need to buy some buttons. And I really like how the front panels came out. I like how it fits once it has its button. I think it'll be really cute. Can you see it? Let me put the camera a little down. Okay, I like that. So I feel like it's very preppy, very Taylor Swifty. What I don't like about it is that when I bought the yarn on Joann's, they sent me 2 balls of white yarn in one package, and later on I got another package with 6 balls of yarn. So 2 of the balls I used for the back of the sweater, and then I used the remaining balls. I have 2 balls left, so really I only needed 6.5-ish balls, but whatever. And the 6 new balls of yarn did not match the same dye lot of the last 2 skeins. So I was really disappointed about that. And you probably can't see it. You probably can't see, but there is a slight tinge of a color difference, and that really irked me. But we're just gonna have to live with that. The second thing is that the sleeves were extremely long. I would have not knit all of this length in sleeves. And then there's this like weird bunching action. This one doesn't really have much bunching action, but I'm thinking that maybe when I block it, it will kind of simmer down in the sleeve puff. I'm not sure. We're just not gonna be so critical of it, because this one was really hard to not be so judgmental and critical. But I'm just happy that it's done. I really like the length of the cardigan. It goes right past the waist. And so I'm excited to see how it fits on her, how she likes it. The good thing is that there is positive ease on this. So even if it fits a little bit baggy on her, or if it fits a little bit more snug, it has that space. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it does fit as perfect as she would like. And if not, it can be like a house piece, or it can be like folded over a couch or something. But overall, I'm glad that I tried this. I definitely would see cables in my future, but not in any time soon. I want big knits, chunky knits, fast knits, quick knits. I don't want to do cables in a long time. This was a beast of a project. As for things I want to work on, I'm really just gonna continue working from stash. You know that a goal of mine is to keep my stash as limited as possible, and over the last few months I have accumulated more yarn than I anticipated. So let me show you that right now. So as of right now, I only have 5 projects worth of yarn to create projects in the future. And I talked a lot about these skeins, but as of right now, this is what my stash looks like. And I'm hoping to not purchase any more yarn, because there is a yarn festival coming up in March of 2023. It's the Stitches West that I went to last year. I would love to go to it again. And I'm hoping to bust down the stash so that I can invest in some sweater quantity worth of projects at that event. So all of these projects are allocated for the most part. This has been a record year in making. This is the most projects I've ever made, even when I was in the height of my crafting journey back in, I think, 2018. I beat that record. So Ravelry has a feature where you can set a challenge in the start of the year as to how many projects you want to make, and then it tells you like you're 5 projects away from meeting your goal, or you surpassed your goal and you've surpassed it by 400%. I think that's what I did, 400% over my goal, something like that. But my next video, I can talk about that famous video that everybody does of what I made this year, and show you all the, I think I made 32 projects this year. This one might be 33. It was crazy. But I just want to thank all of you for really inspiring me to be dedicated and finish and follow through podcasting, as well as finishing my projects. Podcasting gives you a little bit of pressure to make sure that you are working on your knits and your crocheted items, but also that you are finishing them, so that we're not just in Whip City, everything is a work in progress. So I just want to thank you all for that, for being inspiration, as well as all of the other podcasters that definitely inspire us to spend all of our money, because everything is so beautiful and everything they're making is so gorgeous. So I'm excited for what next year will bring. I definitely want to explore more summer fibers, plant fibers, and see patterns that use those type of content as well. I don't think I've really worked with linen. I want to work with linen next year. One thing that I do struggle with is being inspired by what's trending on Ravelry as well as what other podcasters are making, because a lot of them do not, a lot of the ones that I watch do not live in climates as hot as mine, and the few that do, I do really enjoy their what they're buying and what they're making. But a lot of them knit with a lot of wool, a lot of mohair, a lot of bulky chunky weights, and I can't really use those, or if I do use those, I can't even really wear wool even though it's winter here because I get hot so fast. But I can't believe that I've been knitting and crocheting more in California than I did when I was in Pennsylvania, where I actually really needed all of the warm fibers. It is pretty ironic. Well, it's been a year of podcasting. I said what I was going to do and provide a video pretty much every week this year, and I'm excited for what 2023 brings. Thank you all for tuning in, subscribing, watching the content, commenting below. You really make me feel like I have fiber friends all around the world, in the United States, all around the globe, in Europe, everywhere, and I really appreciate you all enjoying this content. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make an episode next week because I will be traveling. So probably see you in 2023. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you and your family are happy, healthy, and safe. Happy holidays, happy new year, and see you in 2023. Bye.